Welcome back, YouTube, and welcome back to Veggie's Daily Fantasy Corner, brought to you by Hero Spell Studios. Week 14 of the NFL. I just got done eating my spicy noodle soup. It was fantastic, and I'm ready to get into these picks for this week in the NFL. Last week, I had a pretty good run with my guys, Tom Brady and Chris Godwin stack. That had a good run for me. They both put up 33 points. But I did not win any money, though, in those contests, sadly. I had Foster Morrow, who did not get the points I wanted, getting like 4.5 points. That's not going to get it done. And my defense special teams only got 3 points, so that's also not going to get it done. We're going to try to correct that this week. I keep saying we're going to correct. One of these weeks, we're going to get it right where all the players pop off, and I'm confident that this week is going to be it. So let's get right into it. Quarterback position, I got Taysom Hill, the New Orleans Saints. He just got off the injury designation. He was questionable all week. He's now off that. He fully practiced today because of his broken finger that he had, and he's going to be the starting quarterback this week for the New Orleans Saints. He's valued at $5,600. So for a quarterback, that is extremely cheap. That's what I went with this week. I went with a cheap quarterback so I could fit some bigger guys that are more expensive into my lineup this week. And as you saw, it was either Monday night or Sunday night. I don't really remember. Taysom Hill put on a clinic as far as fantasy points goes. He put up 33 fantasy points. Most of those are rushing yards. He had a 100-yard rushing game, which gave him that Christmas bonus, that 3-point bonus. So that's what I'm hoping out of him this week to get those points for me versus the New York Jets, who are a favorable opponent in a running quarterback. My two running back slots, I got Josh Jacobs and I got Chuba Hubbard. Josh Jacobs valued at $2,600, projected 15.2 fantasy points going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Simple reason I'm picking Josh Jacobs this week in my DK lineup is because I think the Las Vegas Raiders are going to try to keep the Kansas City offense off the field. How are they going to do that? They're going to do that by running the ball with Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to get a lot of touches, and I think he's going to get a lot of catches, whether it's screens, PPR points. But regardless, they're going to keep milking that clock, and Josh Jacobs is going to be a key piece in doing that to keep Kansas City off the field. So that's why I'm going with him this week. Next up, I got Chuba Hubbard. Also a pretty simple choice. He's valued at $5,900. Very cheap for a running back, a starting running back, may I add, with Christian McCaffrey being designated out for the rest of the year, which means Chuba Hubbard is very valuable to get, whether he's on a waiver wire in your normal fantasy or if he's available in your DraftKings and FANDUEL lineup at $5,900. He's a starting running back, and he has a very favorable matchup again this week against the Atlanta Falcons, who have not been very good, not been stout against the run, which is why I'm going with Chuba this week. My three wide receiver slots, Tyreek Hill, Hunter Renfrow, and Chester Rogers. Some of you are wondering, who the heck is Chester Rogers? I've never heard of him. Well, let me tell you who he is. Chester Rogers has been, he's on the Tennessee Titans, and he's been that wide receiver 3 for them since Antonio Brown and Julio Jones have been out. Well, as of today, A.J. Brown, Tennessee Titans. A.J. Brown will just put on injured reserve. He's going to miss some time. Julio Jones is designated to come back this week from injury. So it's going to be Julio Jones, that number 1 slot, Chester Rogers at that number 2 slot. I don't like Julio Jones in this matchup simply because he's a big target and everybody knows his name around the whole NFL. So they're all going to, whether it's double team him or, play a linebacker on him, drop one back into coverage on that fire zone. Julio Jones this year has not gotten it done in fantasy. And I don't think he's going to get it done coming back off injury reserve either, which leaves Chester Rogers in there at that wide receiver 2 slot to take care of business for the Tennessee Titans. They go up against Jacksonville this week, so it's a must-win game for them against a favorable opponent. And I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball that effectively on Jacksonville, which means their wide receivers and Chester Rogers, which is why I got him in here, is going to have to step up. My next 2 wide receivers are going to be Tyreek Hill and Hunter Renfrow. Long story short about Hunter Renfrow, he's been getting a lot of points lately, and I do not see that stopping against Kansas City in a divisional game. 2 opponents that are very tight in that AFC West race. This is a divisional game here. It's a 305 game. Tyreek Hill also going to have to step up if they want to win. Both teams need this win bad if they want to win, if they want to have a chance at getting that division. Right now, Kansas City has the upper hand. However, Las Vegas is right next to them, coming in hot. And I'm sure they're going to have a good game plan to make sure that they have a fighting chance against these Kansas City Chiefs. And I think Hunter Renfrow is going to have a big piece to it. He's been doing it for the last 3 weeks, and I do not see that stopping against a divisional opponent. And Tyreek Hill was the most expensive wide receiver this week, but I feel like I had to go with him in a divisional matchup where both teams know they got to win, and they're going to have to put up points somehow. That answer is going to be Hunter Renfrow and Tyreek Hill, I believe, this week. My tight end, I also picked him 2 weeks ago, Rob Gronkowski, in another divisional matchup. This is not a divisional matchup. Disregard that. Tampa Bay plays Buffalo this week. Buffalo, let me tell you something about Buffalo now. Buffalo had a brutal loss against the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football. They needed that win so bad, and they could not get it done. So this is a must-win game for the Buffalo Bills. So Josh Allen's going to be hot. The weather is not going to be a factor this week because they're playing down in Tampa Bay, and I heard a little birdie in a tree told me it's going to be really nice, really sunny and really nice outside in Tampa Bay this week. So they're going to have to put up points too. Tampa Bay is going to have to catch up. Who's Tom Brady been going to all year? Rob Gronkowski. He's actually been going to Rob Gronkowski for the last, I don't know how many years, but they've won 3 Super Bowls together. So they know each other like the back of their hands. Rob Gronkowski, I feel, is going to have another big week this week against a favorable opponent. Projected 16.5 points, no more, no less, valued at $6,000. He's a little more of an expensive tight end. He's about the tight end 5, behind obviously the top 4 in front of him. So he's a little more on the expensive side, but I believe that pays off this week in a game that both teams need to stay competitive in that playoff race. So I like Rob Gronkowski this week at the tight end position. My flex spot, this is the only one where I'm a little stingy on. I'm going with Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns. Jarvis Landry has been getting about 14. He got 14 points 2 weeks ago. Last week he got 19.1 points. Like I said before, these are a lot of divisional matchups this week. Cleveland is going up against Baltimore, who also both need wins very badly. And Jarvis Landry's that guy now that Odell Beckham Jr. isn't there anymore. So I see him. He's questionable right now, which is the only thing that scares me. He's questionable right now. Obviously, if his injury status changes, I'm going to have to switch up that position. But as of right now, Wednesday, I'm going to roll with Jarvis Landry in my flex spot, being that one guy, that one for sure guy in Cleveland that I know can get it done at that wide receiver position. So that's who I'm picking for my flex spot this week is Jarvis Landry. Lastly, we got my defense special teams. This week I went with the cheap. I switched. See, I don't even know what's going on anymore because I switched it up. I switched up my defense special teams. Before I had the cheapest ones that I could afford some better guys. Now, switch that up. I'm going with the Carolina Panthers defense special teams against the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons offense, if you've really been paying attention this year in the NFL, it has been worse than porous. It has been so bad. Matt Ryan is over the hill, in my opinion, and their offense just cannot get the football down the field effectively, nor can they really maintain the football. They've been very prone to turnovers this year, and I see Carolina in another divisional game stacking up a lot of points in a home game versus Atlanta. So this game is going to be played in Carolina. The fans are going to be loud. Both teams need it. Both teams are right there in the hunt for that wild card spot. And I think Carolina's defense is going to have to step up. That's it for this week. In my daily fantasy corner, I got Taysom Hill, Josh Jacobs, Chuba Hubbard at my 2 running back positions. 3 wide receiver positions, Tyreek Hill, Hunter Renfrow, Chester Rogers. Tight end is Rob Gronkowski. Flex spot is Jarvis Landry. And the defense special team is the Carolina Panthers. Make sure to enter my giveaway, everybody. I'm going to be giving away a $100 Chipotle gift card on Christmas. I'm going to post the link to my latest video in this top right corner. that is how you enter into my giveaway. You have to follow the directions given on that video. I'll also post them in the description of this video. All you have to do is subscribe, take a screenshot that you're subscribed, and then send that to me either Twitter or Instagram DM. Or if you have my phone number, you can also send it to me there. However, I'm not going to make that public. So send it to me via Instagram or Twitter. I'll post that link below. And get those subscription screenshots in, man. I'm telling you guys, it's a big opportunity to win some good burritos, free burritos for you. And I'm excited to give that away. That'll happen on Christmas. Thank you, everybody. YouTube, DraftKings, FanDuel fans for tuning in week 14. This has been my Fantasy Corner this week. I'll see you guys next week. I'm out.